Zanele Mbere, Head of Deposits and Payments at Standard Bank, joins us to give us tips for the consumer on how to cope on this, in this economic environment. Zanele, just coming back from the festive season, how are people dealing with it? It's March now, so you need to be paying up certain things.
Yes. So post the festive season, we had a 50 basis point hike in the repo rate. And then we got our budget speech, increasing fuel levies and many other pressures that are coming to the consumers. So it is tough at the moment, and consumers are really, really feeling the pressure.
Looking at yesterday, we had Michelle Dickens from TNP, and they survey rents that are paid, and more rents are not being paid, or they're being paid late, or they're being paid partially. It's quite an interesting grade that they have. So it doesn't look good if people's rents are now under pressure, and obviously all the other things are under pressure as well. So what are you doing with your own clients, and what's your general kind of advice at times like this?
Absolutely. I mean, something like your rent or your home loan is the first thing that a consumer pays. So if that is being delayed, obviously the consumers are under a lot of pressure. So the first advice that we always say to our customers is please speak to your bank. They're the first people who can actually assist you in these hard times. The other sorts of things that a consumer can actually do on their own, and that's really reviewing your budget. Times are hard. Review your budget. If you don't have a budget, start one. It's really important to see exactly what you're spending your money on. And it can be really little things. You have your cup of coffee once a day. That's 20 Rand every day for a week, over a month. It comes to about 400 Rand. And most times people don't have just one cup of coffee.
In fact, that works out to 4,800 Rand a year on coffee.
Exactly. So, some of those things that you can easily just cut out. Take a shopping list when you go grocery shopping. I mean, so you won't be, minding the aisles and taking things that you actually don't necessarily need. Bonuses are coming up. Some people have been paid bonuses. Pay the full year school fees and take advantage of some of the discounts that come. Loyalty schemes. I mean, there's some great discounts that come from there. So there are little things that you can do on a monthly basis, but it's important for you to be aware of what you're spending your money on.
Speaking of being aware, what's Standard Bank doing in terms of the financial literacy side? Are your customers more open to receiving it?
Yes, definitely. I mean, customers are always open. So, we have financial advisors who actually sit in our branches, and they're very much accessible. It's very difficult nowadays to navigate through all these solutions about, financial well-being. So we do have financial advisors who are in our branches and who are very willing to assist our customers.
I've got a theory, Zanele, that with the ease of transactions now, I mean, the last time I signed a check must be 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if do you still give people checks?
So we do have a small base.
But for a lot of people, it's not part of the scenery. You use your card or you use online transactions.
Definitely.
And a lot of your payments go out automatically, so you don't have to sign the checks.
Yes.
My theory is that people are less in control of their money now because it's actually easier to make transactions, and they actually don't notice half of them.
I would say to the contrary. So it's actually the fact that people can make their payments, so we've got new emergent payment systems like, paying off your mobile phone, or the fact that you can do payments off internet banking. That's actually bringing it back to the customer's control, where anywhere, anytime you can make payments. So you don't need to always rely on the automatic things like debit orders.
Isn't it too easy to make payments so that you go online and you look at a thing? There's a friend of mine, he goes online, he always buys a book. He can't resist buying a book. He had to actually go to the shop and sign a check. He wouldn't.
It is easier, but I mean, that's really part of the fact that, people are everywhere and they want to be able to make payments at their convenience. So it is easier, but it's better for the customer, and as well as they're more in control. How we can help is provide customers with better solutions to see where they're spending, and I think that would really help.
We're always concerned about the lower LSM and how they're spending. What sort of advice does Standard Bank have for, viewers watching who are sort of the high income group watching Open Exchange right now?
So some of the things that a lot of, I think the pressures are my financial well-being, and will I be fine in the next 2 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years? So what we always say is review your insurance and your savings plans regularly. That's very important. You need that comfort that you're still okay, especially now in such difficult times. We usually say once a year, but actually more than once a year, you need to go back to your insurance, your savings plans, and just to make sure that you're still okay for the next 2 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years.